Hey there, I'm JB and welcome at Orange County Kingdom. For today, it is finally time that we're going to start building on the wall. Now, all honesty on a stick, it is Friday today already. The last couple of 3 days has been very hot. It's been 30 degrees and playing games on 25 degrees and higher is not a lot of fun. So I didn't have a lot of time to start all of this stuff just yet. Now I would like to start off with this piece down here, and along the way I will just explain my thoughts about what we are going to do exactly. So this piece down here is a piece that I would like to take onto the hill rather than in the front of it or behind it. If I'm going to take it behind, the enemy will have a good advantage of, shooting on the wall. If I'm going to put it in the front of it, then we are here stuck with a ginormous hill. Now last Friday I did do an attempt on creating a wall. It is not a big issue to go down right down here. It is a big issue to do something with this down here because it's way too steep. So I'm going to bring you right away to the editor and show you what I mean. Now this down here is something that I have done last Friday. I tried to record and apparently I didn't really have my day, and it only got worse once I couldn't work out my idea. So as you can see down here, I got a new type of wall that I wanted to build in this kingdom. There's wood on the back, or better to say on the inside, and then just stone only on the outside. The only problem with this is that the wood right down here is not going to look very good. And the reason why I don't have it inclined and all the blocks through each other is because collision is the thing that causes the most performance issues. And since I'm going to build a ginormous kingdom, it's going to lag real quick if I build a whole wall with everything collide into each other, right? Now that's not the only problem. The next problem is actually right down here. So here's the whole steep part that goes to the ocean. Now in the last kingdom build, I actually, had some parts where I did have the wall inclined and it worked out. In this case, it is not going to work out at all. As you can see, this is the maximum of the stairways what I could be doing. And yeah, the wall is going to look very weird and very high up down here. It is something that I don't want to do. And overall, the wall up front looks very nice, right? And yes, here it is also colliding into each other, and this is something that I want to avoid as much as possible. This is something that I really want to avoid, so I can build a big kingdom without too much lag, right? Or, keep it minimalistic. So I had to come up with a different plan. So I looked at a lot of reference images, like a lot of them. And I noticed with a lot of the Kingdoms fantasy builds that there are very little inclined walls. There are some of them, indeed. I have seen some which don't have like this defense mechanism where an archer can stand onto it, dive, take cover when needed. But most of them didn't have inclined walls. So I'm going to need to make a modular. That is what it's called. So basically I'm going to need to design a couple of pieces and then I can just put them onto each other when needed, right? That is what I'm trying to say here. And a lot of these walls are just straight. So instead of having one tower on the top of the hill, it would be at a part where things go inclined, right? And then the wall somewhere around here, right, towards the other. And then the next wall would be somewhere around here, and then the next tower gonna be here ish, and so on and so on. That is how a lot of these kingdom walls are being built. Alright, so in this case I think I got all of the modules ready. I got one which has no connection to a wall, which could be like a very high tower type of deal. I got one which has a connection point for one wall, and I got one which has a connection point on both sides for the wall, and I got one which has a corner connection for the wall. The same goes for all of the doors and the windows down here, and or I made a short piece and a long piece. Also for the other parts of the tower, I made this one, if I need to extend it with a longer ladder, this one without. I'm doubting that I will use this one, and I got the shorter part if I just miss a little thing. Now the only thing that I don't have is just, you know, like if I need one layer of these, it's just 8 blocks. I can colorize them, that's no problem at all. So what I would like to do right now is set up something nice for this piece. I had to go back, by the way, and redo the whole show since I removed the one I made earlier already in adventure mode. Since I made already one piece down here, I'm just going to use this and copy this towards the other side. A lot easier. Unless what? Well, unless the wall is, you know, way too close to the ground, as it's in this case. So I'm just going to see if I can modify this piece here. Now that is still too low. For some parts I just want it to be at least 3 high. In this case I do believe it's only just about 1.2 high. So I'll guess we're going to remove another one. Those. Increase the height. Like that. And yeah, I can deal with this. Might even be a little too much. I'm going to add something below. And just simply fill up the corner gaps. Now later on we're going to get a very straight part, so it will be less of messing around. And after that we're going to get quite hilly again. Yeah, but I kind of like using this system in order to try to maximize or minimize whatever you like with ground. Now down here though, I don't want to build another tower. I think it would be for the best to at least add another one of these. And I think even for beauty reasons, to add one piece of these between it, just like I did on that side. So it kind of looks even out. Just remove all of them, grab one of these. I'm going to make a gigantic blueprint out of it anyways. I don't have to mess around with this. Of course I can also make it into one group, so I don't mess around with going in and out. But then again, if I need a piece, I need to go in and out anyways. So now you could also, well, could be saying, why don't you just copy that one, right? You could say that, and you're right. I am going to. And that being done, I'm just going to make the other parts that are missing. I'm going to make it into a blueprint, and let's see how it looks. Alright, there was one thing that I had to do. I'll just explain you that once it is time to. In this case, let's just place the blueprint, and you can also see that I actually took care that the window on the left is high, just as the one at the right. Yeah, down here, but you know, stuff. It's just sand that can be added. Down here we cannot add anything, so this must be good, which in this case is good. Just one piece. So far, so good. And yeah, look at the overall. I mean, this just fits in pretty well, and I'm not messing around and stressed out because walls don't connect up properly. These towers are even out from the hill, which is very nice. Yeah, it is even good that I increase the height of the window, or else it would be way lower, almost to reach. Of course you can put a ladder against it, but then again this part here is even lesser high. So now maybe the one thing that I could be doing different for the rest of the wall is actually make like a hatch door on top of the tower, which I could save even more blocks and stuff that need to be rendered, right? Except for the last one. Stay there. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Just make like a little hatch door in here. Remove anything else. I mean, I got a prop pack, so let's just do it. But just not maybe. Yes, this is what I like. Yeah, of course they have a little bit of a vantage point, unless it's the shadow, but I could place a couple of dummies here and there just to get an idea that there are some safe spots need to be digged away, but I'm not going to be too worried about that. This is a real nice one. a nice overview of what's going on. And yeah, down the line here there will be cannon towers or bunkers or whatever for those ships, but this is nice. Yeah, good, right? Yeah, I understand, but why is it not automatically, you know, touching something? Why do I have to all of a sudden, after laying 200 of these things, do it all myself? Alright, so let's see. We're going to need to corner things up at some point. And what I would like to do once again is make use of the hills. In this case, I would like to use this part here. So at some point I need to go around the corner and go around the corner. I want to make here a massive gate right down here, right? So come in here, go towards the village, or you can go to another wall. And the reason why there will be another wall is because I think the road that way, I'm not sure this yet, it's going to be up here on this side. Like I say, I'm not sure this yet, because maybe I can also get up on this side. Maybe it shouldn't be like too steep, right? And we might be able to create a pathway from this side, which basically means if they breach the wall, they need to get through this point. So I'm going to need to, I want to make like some extra ways to make it difficult, just like I did or wanted to do on the other kingdom. For now, the wall, of course. I guess it's going to depend on the pieces. So we're going to have a wall tower somewhere over here, then a couple of pieces, tower, couple of pieces, and tower. Would be very nice if you're trying to make everything look equal. Also down here, there's a little bit going down type of deal, and I want to see if I can get as much ground in the blueprint as possible. What am I holding? Is that a pickaxe? What is this? Yeah, it's a pickaxe. Okay. It doesn't really show me nothing. Oh, wait, what? You see? I would swear I was holding the pickaxe and... Yep, you get a deal here. So, yeah, this is why I'd rather do it then like this. So I'm almost certain that I got everything. No, I'm not going to get that. Okay, so this is not, you know? Now in this case it's not going to be too much of a problem. What I can do here is do another dig, right? I can just straighten out with a rake. Maybe I can do that with the other spot too, but capture this lower piece of ground. Do it the other way around. I wasn't sure if I could get everything. Now, got a whole load of wall here. It's like this, just like that, and place. Alright, and so I have another piece of wall. You know, there is one thing I am wondering, and that is if I would run here and then take a nice jump down here, if it would hurt me. Apparently I'm lucky here. Alright, so the only thing I need to do is remove this one, and then we're going to need to fix this down here, doing this, and yep, voila, fixed. Perfect. Let's check out the other side. Yep, going to have a little fix too. Now I'm going to do the same thing like I did before. Blueprint the whole wall, then grab that placement section, another piece of wall, save it as a blueprint, take the blueprint, place the blueprint, fill in the blank. And there we have it. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I had a problem and I had to place wall number 2 again because apparently there is something wrong with the server which shared games are saved onto, and I've been talking with one of the developers about it, and long story short, the server needs some fixing. And this also happened with another game last week already. I got recommended to put the game back on single player, which means that person X won't be able to do anything right now. This is just to be sure that no more progress will be lost for now. Now, because one person that works normally on it is on vacation, this fix might going to take 1/2 weeks before I can test it again to see if it's now working. Now another funny thing is, once I came here and that wall was gone, the resources that I used for the wall were also gone. And that's actually very simple to explain, is that the resources came from the ship, and the ship saves on a different save than the share game, which might be a little bit baloney, sure, but in this case that is just how this game works. There were just a couple of things though. I don't need it back, it's okay. So we will have to wait a little longer before Person X can also join this share game, and then slowly but surely going to start maybe to see Person X doing some things. Right, in this case I need a couple more walls, or I'm just going to increase the ground here that I can do. Now one thing that is good about making it single player again is that I can just move up the time and stop it whenever I want to, which it should be dry weather, very good. Alright, the wall is starting to look good. Now I got a little bit of a hill down here, and I don't think I want to make like another tower just for a tiny little hill. So I'll guess what I end up doing is flatten out this land. Turning on the recording is very handy. Anyways, I've digged out the ground here, and I cannot capture the whole row here, so I have to do a little bit lesser, this point, that point, and then we're going to see how is it going to end up in order to decide where we are exactly going to go around the corner again, that side. And there we have it. That part is done. Now, by the look of it, I might be lucky here that I can cram exactly a full wall and a tower just right around here. But we're going to need to test and see. Alright, now I don't think I'm going to grab everything down here, because I'm not sure as yet how I might going to do this, because these are all modular pieces, right? And going incline all of a sudden might be a huge problem. I'm going to at least paint these ones red, because I'm just wondering how far I can get. And this one will be green. This one is okay, because what I might need to do is the same thing that I did in the other kingdom. Once I get to a tower, I first need to build it straight, and then from this point incline. Maybe I'm going to think about it, because I've been saying the more collision blocks, the more messy it's going to be, and we're going to build a giant castle up there. We're going to build a village up there, so it's going to be a very busy area. And so in this case we have another piece of wall. Starts to look very good, and I am very happy that we're finally doing something on this island. Yeah, I am very happy with the progress for today, and I'm very excited for next Friday, because that is going to be a challenge, but it's going to look really good with all of these hills. So in this case, tomorrow 8 PM CET, we will do another spinning wheel show for you to win great prizes and blueprints, and then I hope you will have a nice weekend. Man, this wall is going to be huge. I think this is perfectly the amount of wall that I've been building on my last kingdom, and I think this is about 1/5 of what I'm going to place all the way around there, all the way toward the spot with the lighthouse.